like to call to order the Common Council meeting for September 17th, 2024 at 7:39 p.m. Attendance roll call.
Alderperson Wolf.
Here.
Alderperson Hamel is absent. Alderperson Decker.
Here.
Schwer.
Here.
Schrader.
Here.
Kabaki.
Here.
Madden.
Here.
We have a quorum present.
Thank you. Statement of public notice.
This meeting was noticed in accordance with the open meeting law on Friday, September 13th, 2024.
Thank you. Public comment. Anyone, any residents or taxpayers only or want to speak on any agenda item, please come forward, state your name and address, and you'll be heard. Anyone? You're not a public comment.
No, after that, I have a request.
Yeah. All right. Moving on.
That's my request is, can we move unfinished business before review or before, wait a minute, can we move the items for reconsideration before unfinished business?
Is there a reason for it?
Well, because on unfinished business, there's parts in there that relate to that.
Is there any objection? No. So where do you want it?
Just right before, just flip-flop them.
So you want unfinished business before?
No, reconsideration.
Reconsideration before unfinished business?
Yes.
All right. Communications from the mayor's office, couple things. The public hearing originally for the budgets were set for October 8th. They will now be October 22nd.
Wait, say that again. So our final date?
Originally, we were going to have a
22nd?
public hearing for October 8th for the public hearing.
Oh, the public. That's
For
when we
the
vote on
budgets,
everything, right?
And we pushed them back to the next meeting to October 22nd. We're still working through health insurance renewal numbers
Okay.
and other things.
I
for
just
that
want to make
already.
sure I knew that for my calendar. I got to check that to make sure I'm here.
Okay.
Don't miss it.
It's a regular council meeting. It's just,
Yeah.
we're not moving the dates. We're just moving what's going on in that. Utility and operating budgets will be brought forward. Next meeting is our plan right now for those. So that's information. Trick or treat times will be the same as they have been on Halloween from 6 to 8. And that's all I have for communications from the mayor's office. Consent agenda, Common Council minutes from August 27th, 2024. Resolution 056-2024, resolution of eligibility for exemption from the county library tax levy for 2025. And resolution 057-2024, resolution for inclusion under income continuation insurance plan.
Motion approved.
Question. The last resolution,
Second
057.
first, before a question?
Get a second first, yeah.
Second.
Alderman,
Question. Resolution 057-2024, that's the one that Kate presented earlier?
correct.
Okay.
All those in favor of consent agenda, say aye.
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 Opposed? Passes unanimously. New business, there is none. New business, there is none. Review of committee reports. You have the Finance Committee meeting minutes, from July 23rd, 2024 in front of you. Unfinished, items for reconsideration. Resolution 055-2024, resolution to increase expenses for city alderpersons. Alderman Wolf asked for this to be reconsidered. Are you making a motion to reconsider it?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. Alderman Wolf, you have the floor.
You know, the more I thought about this afterward, I have to say, I guess I was confused the last meeting, and the reason I voted it down, first of all, I'm not comfortable giving myself money, right? I mean, who is, it's a public job. It's hard to vote yourself a raise, basically, is what you're doing. But at the same token, everybody's getting something. And I've been doing this a long time, and I'm not getting any more for what I'm doing, and the prices of everything has gone up. And I appreciate the information I got, Rick. What my main complaint is really not the salary side; it's the expense side. And I mean, we get a decent expense, but everything has gone up. I mean, I use all my own personal stuff I don't come in here and use anything. I mean, I use my own copy paper, my own ink, my phone, my other home phone, which has been the same. I keep it because it's the same number that I've had and everybody knows it. I use my car, and we all know insurance is up, maintenance is up, gas is up. Just keep going down the line. We all know that. And if I look at the information that I got here, I mean, let me pull this up. Give me 10 seconds here.
Correct. Actually, yeah.
So what we have is, you know, the cost of living adjustments is.
Actually,
We have to stop this.
What's that?
we don't reconsider a lot. So I guess the
We
motion.
don't reconsider what?
We don't reconsider a lot, so I'm a little remiss.
I'm sorry, we don't.
Never mind, I'm remiss. What we need to do is vote on the option to reconsider, and then it puts it back on the floor, and then you can go through your.
Oh, for the discussion?
Procedural things.
Oh, we
It's just
didn't
not
do a-
back on the floor
I thought
yet.
there was a.
There was a first and a second, but that's just to reconsider. So you actually have to vote on reconsidering it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
My bad.
I got it. Yeah, I got it. It makes sense.
All those in favor of the motion to reconsider, say aye.
Roll call vote, please.
All right, roll call.
Alderperson Wolf.
Yes.
Decker.
No.
Schwer.
No.
No. Schrader. No. Kubaki.
Yes.
Madden.
Yes.
A 3-3. It's either the mayor or we wait for Bob.
I'll let him reconsider.
What's that?
I vote aye.
And that's good, you know, because you could all voted yes just to hear everything, and then you could vote no later. Just so you know, when a reconsider comes up, it's kind of a courtesy to hear your other constituent give us an explanation of why they want to reconsider. Again, that's just my opinion. But going back, I was pulling this up and I lost it, and hopefully my battery doesn't die. But the information I got, it's 3/4, almost a double from where we started. So Alderman in 2000 is when everything was set. There hasn't been an increase on anything since then. And pretty much, if you look at any city worker, including the mayor even got a raise in between all this, who I think was the first one, before he started. So it's not he got one, but it was put in place before he started. I think it's time that we do something, and you know, although it's tough to do it for yourself, like I said, but I believe it's time. And my proposal is to do it on the expense side, because that's my concern, is expenses. And I'm looking at not, and like I said, I misunderstood last time. That's why I voted no, because I was told that it was $100 for the year, and I'm like, well, that's, you know, that's really not anything. And my dilemma would be to ask for $100 a month on our expenses, and that would start right away. And the reason I'm bringing it that way, rather than going through salary, is because you have to wait till your next terms are up for everybody to get the bump, and we all know inflation has been there. And so I'm just thinking out loud that I think it's time and it's reasonable. And that's my proposal, is to do $100 a month on the expense starting January 1st. And if somebody wants to change it or talk about it or whatever, bring it up now.
That amounts to $1,200 a year additional, correct, in expenses?
Actually, before we debate this, so your motion is for a
$100 a month.
$100 a month increase to the expenses
Expenses.
starting January 1st. That's your motion?
Right.
Is there a second?
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Who seconded?
I don't have one yet.
Okay, then I'll make a second motion then. I think that
It dies for lack of a second, so now
the second motion would be to do 50 on the expenses and 50 on the salary side.
well, the salary side can come up at the later agenda items. So right now you can just talk about expenses.
Okay, well, I would do the 50 on expenses, and then, like I said, later my goal would be to do 50/50 and have the salary wouldn't start till whatever, the same that's on the next item that's coming up for official salaries.
So the motion right
That's
now,
my motion.
the new motion is for an additional 50, or we'll just say $600 a year.
Right.
Additional $600 a year beginning January 1 for alderman's expenses. Is there a second? Dies for lack of a second.
Sorry, guys. It's a shame. It's the second time in 10 years that this has been voted down.
All right, moving on. Unfinished business, ordinance 1495, ordinance to establish salaries of elected officials, second reading. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Now, if you wanted to make a motion to the alderman's portion on here, you could, so.
Well, it failed the first time, but I would go back to the $100 and that's my motion. $100 a month, $1,200 a year, however you want to do it.
So I don't want to do,
No second?
it's discussion actually at this point, so are you, unless you're making a motion to amend it. You want to have discussion first, or you just want to make a motion to amend?
No, I'll let it go. If they don't want it, that's fine.
Okay. Any discussion on the ordinance as presented? I have a first and second on that.
I'd like to discuss.
Do you have to make a motion on this?
We already have a first and second on that.
Oh, on the whole, that's right. I'm sorry.
So the floor is yours.
This is a proposed increase. If we could restate what the increase in the mayoral salary would be, please.
It would move from $72,000 a year to $82,000 a year in 2026. So the next election, whoever would be elected mayor, their salary would move at that point.
And then do expenses increase as well?
No.
I would oppose this because number one, we already had a mayoral salary increase in 2019. We don't need another one 5 years later, in my view. And secondly, it was suggested that one of the reasons for increasing this was to attract a more professional applicant for the job. And I caution that what kind of a professional are you really attracting? I believe you're attracting a careerist, a mercenary type, and that's what I don't want. I think the position of mayor and alderpersons should be a position of sacrifice, where you're actually making a sacrifice, giving something up to do the position, and I think that would also be self-limiting to the person. It would serve as a way to term limit them in a way, which I think is needed.
Any other discussion?
I don't have that little slip of paper with me tonight, but I know there was some municipalities on there when we originally, oh, thank you, Kevin. When we originally went through here, and I didn't do a whole lot of investigation into this, but a lot of these municipalities didn't seem like they were like the same type of population and or, Kevin Gavin, thanks. It just didn't feel like they were great comparisons for our city. And I kind of feel like, almost like these salaries, like Rob had said, it's not comfortable voting yourself a raise or voting necessarily the alderman. I almost feel like this could be something on a referendum. I don't necessarily feel like it's I feel like the people should decide whether we need a raise, personally. My 2 cents on this. And again, I don't think these were great comparisons for similar population and similar, budgets that we deal with. Another thing that I am under the impression, and I could be wrong, is the mayor used to handle a lot of HR work in this position. And now there's a full-time HR person that's doing all that work. And why would we give a raise to the mayor when they're doing less work? I feel like a couple meetings ago, the mayor actually asked if we only want to have one meeting a month, so because there's just not that much business going on. So I just kind of feel like a raise is just not warranted, personally.
The only thing I can address is the comps. City of Muskego with population of 25,000, roughly 26,000, and a full-time mayor, we are one of the few that have that. That fit exactly into that. So then you do neighboring comps like New Barrel and Brookfield. Yes, those are bigger populations with bigger budgets, but they're comparable for full-time mayors. So we found the area comparables that have full-time mayors, and that's what we use for comps. Not most communities that are our size throughout the state typically have a part-time mayor and a full-time administrator. So,
Mayor,
yes.
I think every community wants to have the best minds to run the city and the best people to run the city. Even though the city is one of the smaller cities on the scale, the mayor's responsibilities are equal to all of these other cities. You've got police departments, fire departments, park and rec departments, DPW departments. You've got all of the same components. To me, the size of the city, again, has some bearing on this, and we'd be smaller, that would be less than some of the larger cities. But again, to hire the best, you've got to offer the best compensation that's possible out there.
Alderman Wolf.
I disagree, Kevin, because we're not hiring them. Second of all, I don't know in good conscience how you cannot give a body of government that's elected no raises ever since 2000, I think, or maybe since it started, and you want to give another body a raise. I don't see the logic in it, but we're all elected.
Alderman Schrader.
I was going to say, I agree. We don't appoint the mayor. The mayor's elected, and so are all of us, and we're elected by the people. And again, I just go back to my comfort level is having you, the people, vote on whether we should have raises.
I agree with that in principle.
Anyone else? So, no. Anything else? Roll call vote.
So wait a minute, do you guys know what you're voting on?
Restate what we're voting on, please. City Attorney.
This whole piece of
You have
paper.
a piece of paper with all the elected officials' salaries on it.
And the only thing that would be going up on that paper is the mayor's salary.
Correct.
Okay, just so he understands it.
The only thing that would be changing on, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Or increasing, however you want to say it.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Alderperson Wolf.
No.
Alderperson Decker.
No.
Alderperson Schwer.
Yes.
Alderperson Schrader.
No.
Alderperson Kabaki.
Yes.
Alderperson Madden.
Yes.
What are my options here?
You're not gonna, yeah.
You don't
You can vote on it, or
You can break your tie, but it's not recommended to do that. I would just pass this thing, wait till Alderman Hamel is here and you got a full council.
All right.
Okay.
Point of order, please.
That's
I didn't
fine.
hear you.
Point of order, please.
He didn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have a comment.
Well,
There are 3 votes no. It got voted down. It was
no,
defeated.
it didn't.
No, it's a tie.
No, I can decide this.
No.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, he can-
State law requires a
Yes,
3/4
legally,
vote.
I can decide this. That's what my.
You're not listening to Dennis.
State law requires a 3/4 vote for approval.
Oh, okay. Does it?
Hold on which, on the increase of a mayor's salary, is that what you're saying? Because then I gotta look that up.
Indeed, it does.
Okay, I gotta look it up. I'm not disagreeing.
It doesn't really matter at this point because I'm not going to break the tie.
Well, it does matter because it was voted down.
Well,
There is no tie.
well, there's still a tie for the record, but I'm not voting for it, so it dies because of it. So it didn't pass, so it doesn't matter. So at that point, I voted, I'm abstaining from it. It's staying at 3-3. It didn't have a majority or even a 3. Didn't even have a majority, so it doesn't really matter.
Point of order, it's not really a tie vote. It was defeated.
Hold on a minute. So
state law.
I'm not disagreeing, I'm just trying to figure it out, because that's the important thing to do. So show me what you're looking at. Are you saying that you only need so many votes to not pass this?
A pay increase.
It's 3 and 3 right now.
Right, a pay increase needs the support of 3/4 of the members of the Common Council. It did not get that.
So before we beat this to death, it died. So we're done.
He went forward.
It's dead. We died. It died. I'm sick of arguing tonight. It's dead. So.
That is correct. It did not get the vote.
It didn't get the vote on either way. So
Right.
it doesn't matter. Why are we arguing? There's no point of order. It's dead. So. All right, moving on with the agenda. Yeah. License approval. Recommend approval of a Class B liquor license for SNK Coffee DBA Vintage Grounds located at South 74 West 16825 Janesville Road.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I only heard one. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. City officials report, there is none. Any communications or miscellaneous business as authorized by law? Any updates from any of the liaisons? All right, and motion to close session. Can the clerk read the motion to close session?
Oh. Sorry, I was going to ask for something on the next agenda.
Motion to go into closed
Wait,
session.
I gotta read.
She's got to read it.
Following conclusion of consideration of the above portion of its regularly scheduled agenda, the Common Council will meet to vote on a motion to convene in closed session for discussion action relative to Little Muskego Lake Association request for access to land to perform a site assessment, Park Arthur drainage into Little Muskego Lake, and to take such further action as may be appropriate with respect to such matters. A closed session for the above purpose is authorized pursuant to the provisions of WISSTAT Section 19.85 Sub 1 Sub G, conferring with legal counsel for the governmental body who is rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the body with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved. Upon conclusion of the closed session, the Common Council will reconvene in open session to consider its public agenda, including motions to recommend approval or rejection of the above listed deliberations or any of the public agenda items that have not been acted upon.
Roll call.
You got a motion. Do we have a
Oh,
motion?
can I get a motion to go?
Motion to go into closed session.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Okay, just a minute. Alderperson Wolf.
Yes.
Alderperson Decker.
Yes.
Alderperson Schwer.
Yes.
Alderperson Schrader.
Yes.
Alderperson Kabaki.
Yes.
Alderperson Madden.
Yes.
6 in favor, motion carries.
We are in closed session. We're in open session. Future agenda items, Alderman Schrader, you have
Yeah,
something?
I wanted to get the information on that. There was another grant you talked about for the fire department, or,
I can't give that to you. It's not mine, and I didn't apply. It's the fire department. So I can ask them. for it,
Yeah,
but
I would
they're-
like to
but
see
they're a
all
private
that.
They are a private organization, so they may or may not give it to you. That's all. I'm just telling you.
Is
well,
it-
I'm confused then, because that would tie us into having, if the grant is,
Only if we accept it.
well, I would like to see more information on that grant.
I think Jeff said he was going to share it with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they won't share it. I'm just saying I can't guarantee. We don't have that information.
What is this grant for now?
Okay, but then how do we vote on it if we can't see it and
Because
understand
when you do
it?
vote on it, you will be provided that information. You're asking for way before they even know. So, I mean, I
Well,
don't,
they applied for it.
yeah, they did. They're a private organization. They can apply for what they want.
Can I ask what the grant's for? I don't,
The 12 paramedic firefighters. So I will ask them, and if they provide it, they do. If they don't, they don't. I can't.
So he'll give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they won't. I just can't promise it.
We just
So,
can't force it.
Yeah,
You-
that's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to hide anything. It's just, I don't have it. Anything else?
Yes, one, if I may, I had a phone conversation today with a an attorney with the League of Wisconsin Municipalities. I think there's a problem with the tips bid for the baseball field number 4 at Park Arthur.
All right, so what do you want?
I think we need to discuss it.
So what do you want it? I want it on a cow? Could be a cow, it could be a committee.
Let's go for a committee of the whole.
All right, and is the attorney coming, or should I contact him?
He didn't indicate whether he's coming or
It
not.
was a he or a she?
It was a guy. It was Ryan.
I know Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask him. Anything else? Motion to adjourn would be in order.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned at 8:21.